Good day. Hello. I am Kanyisa Ngosla. Welcome to In South Africa, our land, where this channel aims to ensure that urban planning is known in South Africa, where you are given public access, where you are given space to grow in the country as our people. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Maravini, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm a chilla, proudly so. And welcome to today's segment. So basically today what I'm doing is that I am concerned. I'm a concerned South African citizen, whereby I have noticed that we don't know a lot. So I'm here to inform you. The little that I do know, I will tell you the story, is that first and foremost, did you know that South Africa has got a Liquor Act? The Liquor Act 59 of 2003 that regulates the sale and consumption of alcohol. This act is an umbrella act that under it are the provincial acts that, such as the Western Cape Liquor Act, the Gauteng Liquor Act, as well as the KZN Liquor Act. So all of these, basically, what they do is that they regulate the basic licensing of alcohol in South Africa due to a recent event of Inyobeni Tavern, as well as other things such as, get this, first and foremost, this morning I received from my mentor a headline that says, tavern not zoned for business. That's the first problem, right? Inyobeni Tavern referring to it, of course. And then a couple of days ago, which was the actual inspiration of this video, is that I came across an article, or ENCA article, which said Cape Town liquor traders reject new rezoning rules. New rezoning rules? No, I beg yours. Nothing new about rezoning rules. So I am doing this channel, I'm doing this segment to actually inform people and also try and inform journalists as well, because this headline alone was a basic misinformation, because now when I read the article, I thought I was going to see a rezoning act. And I called my mentor and I was like, yo, girl, did y'all change like an amendment to your bylaws or whatever? She was like, I don't know anything. And I'm like, so basically this is misleading people, because what is happening with the liquor board in the Western Cape has got nothing, there's nothing new to do with the rezoning or anything like that. So come hither, listen a while, let me inform you about what is happening and how rezoning / town planning is involved in this whole act, in this whole situation. And I guess also to inform people about the power to the people and the power that the public actually have in the fact that in the licensing of new liquor places in your neighborhood, your residential properties, or any other place actually where they are selling or consuming alcohol, you have a say to agree or not agree to have that in your area or not. So I'll be delving into that, and hopefully you guys will be informed. All right, so the main headline is the fact that there's Section 64 of the Western Cape's Liquor Act is being amended. What exactly of this act is being amended? So what is being amended in this act is the fact that now what they're saying is that liquor license holders, they cannot automatically renew their licenses as they used to. Now they have to, each and every single year, a license holder has to reapply basically and renew their license, and this is done with the correct paperwork each and every single year, and of course there are fees involved. Right, so this is what the Western Cape is doing in their Liquor Act. I mean, all the other provinces, they have the power to do this as well, through public participation, etc., etc. So what does this mean when they say that now it's no longer automatic? So in the past, if you have a liquor license, you just renew it. It's just automatically renewed each and every single year. But now the Western Cape is saying, nope. What they're going to do is that each and every single year, what you need to do is that you need to reapply with the correct paperwork. Amongst those paperwork is, of course, first and foremost, the correct paperwork that when you go to the liquor board or the liquor authority, they will tell you what it is exactly that you need. Amongst these is, of course, the consent from your neighbors. Usually the consent is about 100-meter radius. So all those people, especially in a residential area, so all those people within 100-meter radius, they need to have a signed consent that they are saying, yes, you can have a liquor license and sell alcohol within their residential premise. Okay, and amongst the other documents is, of course, a zoning certificate. All right. What is a zoning certificate exactly? A zoning certificate is basically like an award. Not an award per se, but it's a piece of paper that shows what you can and cannot do onto your property. Usually what the liquor board tells you is that you need to go get a zoning certificate. This is not the case. When you go get a zoning certificate and your property that you want to sell liquor in is actually in a residential property, it'll tell you that the only thing you're allowed to have there is a residential property and nothing else. You're not allowed to sell, you're not allowed to do anything like that. So what it is that you need to do is that you need to apply for a land use application. I have mentioned what a land use application. I'll go into greater details of how we come about this. I think it's my third video entitled land use applications on my YouTube. On the YouTube, I think it's the third video that I've uploaded. You can go check that out if you want to know exactly what a land use application is. So you apply for a land use application. So this land use application, if you want to sell your alcohol there, what happens is that the municipality will determine the type of land use application, but it's most likely to be, depending on the type of alcohol sales that you want to do, it'll most likely be a rezoning, a consent use, or a departure application. That is why I also say that it's important for you to go to a pre-consultation meeting in your local municipality so that you and the local town planners can discuss exactly what it is that you will have to apply for, which type of land use application you will have to apply for to have these rights of operating and also selling your alcohol in your business. So now what happens is that I also advise you to get a planner, a town planner, to actually, not from the municipality, an actual town planner to help you with this application, because they know what happens and they will do it faster because they know what exactly that you need. So this, guys, is a whole application process that can even take up to 18 months. Before you actually go to the liquor board to apply for your license, you need to get land use rights to actually sell the alcohol, right? Okay, cool. So your application goes through a whole process. So once you've gathered all the information and all the things that you will need for your application, you submit your application, and your application in the municipality, it goes through the internal departments that will actually evaluate and see what it is that you need, that will actually... what's the right word? They will actually see and they will determine whether your business is a good idea or not in this particular area. So you will have your engineers in the building, you will have your building people, you will have the water people, you have everybody in the internal. They will actually have their say. So then what happens after this is that a town planner, after it's gone through the internal departments, a town planner of the municipality will write a recommendation whether they agree with your proposal or not. So what they will do is that they will also, obviously, they will do their professional viewing of this, and they will do site inspections in your site whether this is actually a viable idea. They will also take into consideration what the internal departments have said, and they will write a recommendation, and the recommendation will go to a tribunal. So this tribunal, it's a planning tribunal. I've also mentioned this in my third video, what a tribunal is. So basically a tribunal, this one is external people who aren't part of the municipality, and they will sit down and they will discuss. They will look at the recommendation from the actual town planner, and also they will look at things like the public participation, because what happens is that your application also goes through a public participation where your neighbors are asked whether they would agree with this proposal or not, and they sign it or they don't sign it or they oppose it, and then the town planner will write whether who opposed, why do they oppose, is it valid, is it not valid, whatever they're opposing it against. So if the town planner says yes, everything is fine, you can actually have yours, it goes through the tribunal, and then the tribunal, they discuss what the town planner has written down. The town planner basically just writes their findings. And then the nice part about this is the fact that a planning tribunal meeting, you as the owner, you can go and sit and you will hear the people deliberate these professions from the external professions. They will come and they will discuss, and you can also be there when they are discussing your proposal. So once that is done, and let's say they agree that okay, it's fine, your tavern can be approved, then cool, next phase, that now you can actually have your zoning certificate. So your zoning certificate, let's say, your sorry, not your zoning certificate. Woo! Wow. Yeah, your zoning certificate. So your zoning certificate will state, yes, you have recently rezoned your property to, let's say, business, and this type of business says, yes, you can have your liquor, you can sell your liquor, and that is that. And then you take it to the liquor board, and then you follow another process there, which chances are it will also have another public participation point. So what is the uproar about this in the Western Cape? So basically what the uproar is about in the case of Western Cape is the fact that now the liquor board is actually getting tougher and tougher, and they need to get, what happened is that usually the liquor authority / liquor board, what they did was that they approved all these licenses without the actual zoning certificate that allows an actual zoning certificate that actually allows them to have or to sell. So now the problem is the fact that now they have to apply and start over with their certificates. They need to go they first need to do their land use applications first in the planning department before going to the liquor board, and this obviously is going to slow down their business because of the fact that they didn't get to do this at first, and which was completely illegal, because at the end of the day, the step, as far as I'm concerned, is that the step in town planning is that you have to, if you as a tavern owner, you are extending, let's say, your place, and you come through with your building plans, and we see that no, this is a residential property, everything will stop. The liquor board was not supposed to have approved it without an actual zoning certificate that allows you to have a business that sells liquor. So now that's what the uproar is about, because people, what happened is that now they will have to renew their licenses, and actually renewing your license will need the proper documentation. The unfortunate part is that these tavern owners do not have the appropriate documentation, because previously when they were approved, they didn't need these. But there's nothing new. It has always been there. And that is the problem. It's either one, they were approved by the liquor board without that actual consent, or they skipped that. They paid someone off to actually skip that. So we don't know what the actual problem is, but now the Western Cape is getting tougher. What is my basic message of this whole thing? My number one process is that it has inspired my next video, which I'll be posting quite soon, is the fact that we in South Africa, we are not aware of our public participation methods. It's either we know that our public participation methods, our communities, majority of the Black communities, the actual methods, they are not as effective as they're supposed to be, meaning that they do not reach the people. Therefore, this makes that the people do not know, and they aren't informed that the power they have on actually coming together as a community and saying no to all of this operating. Because according to my belief, if a community is well informed and they know their rights, they can come together and say no to many things that can happen in their communities. For instance, having so many taverns and so many liquor selling places in the area. I mean, it's not only the local tavern owners that you can oppose, you can even oppose the local, let's say, Pick and Pay liquor that wants to come through in your neighborhood. You can oppose anything as long as you as a community. So you can do things like signing petitions against it. You can hire lawyers. If you don't have those, you have NGOs. I'm sure your paralegals can also, I mean, your pro bono workers can also do that for you, especially if you believe. So what I'm trying to say is that the power isn't the public. The problem is the fact that we are very much misinformed about it. So another thing is that I'm also trying to correct the fact that what is happening in the Western Cape is a rezoning law. No, it is not a rezoning law. It's an amendment done it's a section 64 in the Western Cape's Liquor Act. So this Liquor Act is actually just reinforcing the fact that you have to have a correctly zoned business in order to operate anything that's got to do with liquor. But the rezoning, the departure, the consent use, they've always been there. You've always have had to actually apply for a land use application for your business before. So many of the people don't know this, but I would suggest that if there's a tavern that you need to regulate out there, that you need to, be moved aside, set aside, the first thing that you need to go do is go to the municipality and ask what the property is zoned for. You will need your earth number to see what the property is zoned for. And also, as a message to those people who want to open businesses selling liquor, you need to be patient, because the first thing that you need to do is that you need to make sure that your land that you have bought can sell alcohol. Therefore, you need to change and go through a process that could be 18 months, even shorter, depending on your municipality, that you get these land use rights first before you actually go to the liquor board. But I hope this has been a public access moment, an educational one, and I hope we as a country grow even further. What I'm going to try and do is that I'm going to try and do a public participation broadcast, another one where I explain exactly what types of public participation methods that are out there, and perhaps we could actually brainstorm new ways in which we can inform the public. I mean, this is a platform that I'm using to inform the public. Maybe now our municipalities need to amend the fact that maybe using a TikTok, maybe using YouTube as ways to inform our people about public concerns. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys. I will talk to you guys later. I really hope I said this, and I hope it's been clear enough. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.